Good day once again, and here we are with our stream of reveal number 605. This is a 1956D roll. This is a plastic tubed roll. It's one of the Megrigan Sons, Megrigan Sons tubes, but the coins are actually loose inside. Thing is, the tube's stuck together real hard, so I may or may not get this open easily. However, this is what we're going to do. So let me get started on it. How are you guys doing? Welcome back. Nothing doing, Chucky. Wait a minute. I may have got a little slide out of it. Hang on here. Nope. See if I can loosen it up a little bit on the desk. There we go. I got the cap off. Okay. This is a juicy roll. Let's see what it's got in it. Okay, the coins are crappy. Bummer. Well, we'll do a roll dig on this one later, but this isn't going to be the roll we're going to do for a reveal. Coins are not in good shape, so I might do a dig on this one at some point just to see what's in it. Let me go dig up another roll. Hang on just a moment. Okay, I have chosen you. This is an old taped 56D roll. I'm busting the tape on it right now. All these fibers getting everywhere. But this is the old strapping tape. This one I assume has probably been together for at least 30 to 50 years. So, let me throw away these fibers. And now we have a tube that will open. And whatever comes out of this is what we're going to do, because I am running low on 56D right now. It looks like the coins are really clean. Very nice ones. So, this is our roll. 1956D, boys and girls, one that hasn't been looked inside of, and I have no idea how long. Coin number 1, Taco John. So now, Taco for coin number 1, let's see what it is. Get my fingers cleaned off. I'll let tape residue off my fingers. It's basically just dried up plastic. Alright, let me zoom in on the coin. Get my lighting pulled out right. There we go. Okay, and this one, I see nothing on the date mint mark area. Not a doubled eyelid. Now we'll be looking at the first 10 coins on the reverse side. And this particular roll, 1956D, is not known for double die reverses. So we're probably going to roll right through the reverses and get on to looking for the valuable stuff that we know can exist. Hey, thanks, Frosty. Much appreciated, sir. Yeah, sometimes when you buy big lots of rolls, you don't check every single roll, and you just roll through it. No pun intended, but when you run into a crappy roll, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you just move on. It's part of the business loss. It's the same die again. I'm just going to skip it. The same die twice there. Coin number 3 now, Parvis. And you do the best you can with it, you know. Sometimes you get good stuff, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you get decent rolls, sometimes you don't. I got nothing. 3 coins running now. 3 coins running. Let's take a quick look at the reverse. Don't want to skimp on the reverses altogether. Just because we don't know of any doesn't mean they can't exist. It just means not enough people have bothered to look. Yeah, I don't know that for sure, but that's the idea we like to live by anyway. There's double dice everywhere. It's just the ones that we don't know about just haven't been discovered. They're waiting. They're waiting out there, boys and girls. They're waiting. All right, another example of the same die as coins 1 and 2. Got a chip in the B in Liberty, and it's a late die state. Got old... What is wrong with you here? Okay, we've got old die scratches in and around the date area. That's what I've been using as my telltale that I have run into another just plain 1956 D-Lincoln cent. And this one appears to be different. However, you know, it does have a split lower serif, so this one is an RPM. It's a decent split lower serif there. Bring this in so I can see it a little bit better. Okay, so it's a relatively clean looking design, relatively clean looking coin. Let's see if I can find anything for real markers. I have it's like a little die scratch thump thing on the inside of the 9, but that is actually something that existed on the hub or the master die, either one, and shows on a whole bunch of different dies. So we can't really use that as a marker because we know it repeats from die to die. We'll have to find something else. And so as I look for something else, there's a long die scratch right in front of the face. We'll use that. Long north and south die scratch right in front of the face on a relatively clean looking coin with a split lower serif. So that's what we will use as our marker here. Let's see if we have anything on the reverse of this one. I'm going to go with a big nope. Nothing on the reverse. But that's for Frosty. That's our first die variety of the roll, coin number 5. Now let's move on to Crispy. So that's that mark on the inside of the 9. There it is again, and this is a different die. So good call on that, Chuck. Don't use that as a marker. This one also has a lower split serif. It's a different die, though, for sure. We need more light on this subject. My light started getting a little dim for some reason. Hello, Kelly Ray. This has got a die crack across the head. It's a cracked skull with a minor RPM, lower split serif RPM. And no, boys and girls, it is not pronounced serif. It is not pronounced seraph. It is pronounced serif. And that is a tail for design at the corners of letters. You have fonts that are serif fonts and fonts that are sans serif fonts. Sans is French for without, so sans serif is without serif. This is a sans serif font right here. No serifs on the letters. You want to see serif? Turn on Word and put on Times New Roman and type for a little while. That's a serif font. You want sans serif? Any Gothic font. Century Gothic, Arial. Those are sans serif fonts. Second 64D roll provided 12 DDRs and 4 RPMs. 1 MM5. How about that, Coin Junkie? Dude, bro, that's nice. That's among those rolls that I shipped to you, right? That's some sweetness. I like it when people are finding stuff in the rolls. That means nobody gypped me. And, of course, it also means I didn't return that favor to my customers. I never can tell. You never know when things are going to be right when they're not. You do your best. Sometimes they come out great. Sometimes they come out grimacing. Oh, crap. I've got a bunch of people saying there's choppy audio, and I think it may be the connection and the actual connection through YouTube. I don't know. I'm gonna have to invest in a new mic, I think. I had Carl asking earlier, can everybody hear me clearly? Rebooted your phone and all good with audio. I don't know if, that might be me. And it could be your connection. Or it could just be YouTube. It could be the web. That's correct. It is Cyber Monday. A whole bunch of people on the web today. So I can tell you one thing. This little failure is all mine. There we go. That's much better. Seymour. Feed me, Seymour. All right. You got good audio there, Coin Junkie. Well, that would be the telltale right there, because Coin Junkie's in the middle of a snowstorm, or the aftermath of a snowstorm, and lives in Canada. So I'll take that as a I'm just fine. You can hear me good, but you keep getting this circle. Okay, someone's going to have to help me. I don't know. I don't know what I am doing, but I'm going to have to figure out what's going wrong with the way I've got these things all connected up. Because they ain't connected up where they work good for me. We are done with our first little ruckus of coins here. We're just going to continue flipping through and looking at them. This may not be one of our better die variety rolls. It's not bad for condition, but it may not be much of a die variety roll. This is this is one of the RPMs that we kept out with coin number 5. So we'll keep this one out as well. The video and everything keep pausing. Okay, that I have an excellent connection here. So because I have an excellent connection here, I don't think it's my connection. So it would have to be something in the wonderful web of weaving words on the world. The www. That's what it would have to be. The webs, the net. Yeah, it's probably just too much online traffic. So if I have anything important to say, I'll say it more than once. Oof, that's not pretty. Some of these coins are kind of beat up a little bit. I don't like beat up coins. It could be a temporary thing with regard to your connection, that when you get connected to YouTube, sometimes YouTube does a great job and sometimes they don't. Back out and come back in. See if that helps. This is for all the people who are still having an audio problem. So Mickey says his is all cleared up now. Could be everybody out there trying to get their TVs online today. TVs and clothing are the two things that are supposed to be the best things going right now for deals in stores. I don't know about the online experience. However, I do know that they are so extending the whole idea of the Black Friday week, the Thanksgiving week sales, the Cyber Week sales, that the day is no longer making that much of a difference. Because if you didn't get it today, you can always get it tomorrow or the next day or the next day. So the whole rush to get in and get everything bought and make sure you're first in line is it's kind of dead now. And the reason, well, the retailers, they're greedy. They're trying to keep their business alive, I guess. Which I think they could better keep their business alive if they would just reduce their own salary. Yeah, you got corporate CEOs making $1 million, $2 million a year for no good reason, when they could easily live on, a couple of $100,000. That's the corporate greed of America. You have the top 2% making 90% of the salary overall. Or is it 80%? The other 80%. The other 20% of all the salary is made by the bottom 80% of people. Or more. I don't know. My math isn't working today. It's either my math or my thinking or something. It was good to see stores closed on Thanksgiving Day. I thought that was always a travesty. In fact, for the last 5 years, I've been posting names of stores that have sales on Thanksgiving Day and telling people to boycott those stores for the week. Don't buy anything from them. They're making their workers work on Thanksgiving Day. In a retail situation, that's just wrong. Now, if you're talking about, perhaps maybe veterinarians, if you're talking about urgent care clinics, you're talking about some of the drugstores, the kinds of things where if you need something, you're going to need it today, and you may have not known that you needed it today yesterday. Those are the kinds of places that need to be open. And I mean need. Need is not like alcohol or something like that. I'm talking about good needs. Score number 21 for Frosty. We're finding very little in this roll. You always open your 56D rolls thinking that you have a good chance of finding pretty much anything. And then, well, let your hopes be dashed if they must. But I have opened a lot of 56D rolls to find the heavenly treats that I've found over the last 40 years. And I'm not afraid to open 56D. So I have found hundreds of rolls that are just like this one. But those rolls that you pop open and they have RPM number 1, or they have RPM number 8, or they have something else that's just gravy good stuff, you end up with hundreds of dollars worth of coins out of one roll. I see nothing, Dr. Jones. Bummer. Thought we might have something there, but we don't. But yeah, I think in order for us to return to a more normal retail season, they'll have to go back to everybody's off on Thanksgiving Day except for the needs. Friday becomes a wait-in-line Black Friday in-store only special deal type thing where, well, people can get stuff, but they can get it in-store only. That was just a little ball of fiber sitting on the coin. And then Small Business Saturday, all the small businesses get their shake. And then Monday, Cyber Monday, and only Cyber Monday. And then on Tuesday, we go back to normal processing. We return you to your regularly scheduled programming. So, that being the case, you get one day to go to the stores and get something. You get one day to go to your local stores, your mom pop shops, to get something. And then you've got one day to get your special deals online. And I think that would put a little bit more urgency back in the idea of purchasing. And if you miss it, you miss it. Next year, you'll know to get in line. But they're going to have to suffer that 1 year, or maybe 2, in order to teach everybody, hey, we're going back to the old-fashioned way of doing things. And you're going to have to either show up or miss out. Here's number 28, Taco John. We got a couple of really minor RPMs that we're running through here. Some lower split serif RPMs. Besides that, I've not seen anything here in this roll. Hello, Bill. Good day to you, sir. There's one for Stan. Another same die. We've got a whole bunch of these later die state ones coming up that have the chip in the B and the little die scratches coming up out of the vest. Not trying to skip through anybody's coin. I'm just telling you that there's some very commonalities in some of these coins that not worth spending a lot of time looking at them if they turn out to be the exact same thing as the last one. This is another one. Nothing to see here. These are not the droids you're looking for. Move along. Alright, got nothing on that one. Some will win, some will lose, some of them will just sing the blues. And we're singing the blues. Muddy Waters, Robert Johnson, B.B. King, the likes of whom may never be matched again. Good thing we have recording, because without recording we would have no music anymore. I swear these things are less and less and less real talent out there. More and more people, less talent. We don't have music anymore like we did back in the day. We know this is true. How we know this is true? That's that minor RPM. The kids on the planet now are listening to the same music that we listened to when we were growing up. So they obviously don't really like the modern stuff that's being made. They're all turning to things like Led Zeppelin, Lynyrd Skynyrd, AC/DC, Rush. They're not listening so much to the pop stuff, Huey Lewis and the News or any of that stuff. They're listening to the real classic rock. Metallica. They're kind of turning away from all the modern stuff. You got very few artists these days who are actually producing things that everybody really wants to hear. But I tell you what part of the problem is the radio stations. They've gone to playing such a short selection of things that when someone comes out and they're really popular, they kill it. I mean, they just murder the whole thing. New Taylor Swift song comes out and you hear it 400 times in 3 days. It's like, dude, really? Do you want to hear it that much? And then it just basically, they're trying to sell records. But I think they're trying too hard to sell records. And they just pound it into you. And within a month, nobody wants to hear it anymore. Even the people who like it. Maybe that's because talent is so rare now. You just don't find very many people. Right? Now I just get tired of the lack of originality. You got lack of originality in movie plots. All they're doing is copying the same movies that we've been watching for 50 years or more. And just redoing them. Only with actors and directors that aren't as good as they used to be. You got very little originality in commercials, TV shows, music. The originality is all gone. That's a double die lid right there. That right there is a double die. You can see it right there on the eye. Get it down here. There we go. I try not to move things around too much. Boys and girls, if you want to hear talent in singing, do not listen to me. So there's 3 different dies that I've pulled so far. Here's a coin for Mark. Let's see what Mark gets. It's going to be one of the more later dice date examples. Has a chip in the B. Yep, sure does. So that's going to be a nothing. Oh yeah, Pink Floyd is good. Pink Floyd has always been good. Pink Floyd, I think, will always be a step ahead of 90% of all the music that's been made since then. Yep, CCR. That's another one. There are fewer of the 70s artists that we follow than the 80s and 90s. It's like if you think about the late 60s into the 70s, how many of those people are actually being followed these days? I mean, okay, you've got Jimi Hendrix. There's Janis Joplin. The Beatles. Leonard Skinner. Rush. Led Zeppelin. Rush is more of an 80s thing, though. But then you think back in those days and you think about all the folk singers that, well, you don't really hear about them anymore. Joni Mitchell. There's Joni Mitchell. There's, what are some other ones? The Carpenters. Captain and Tennille. It's all that kind of stuff. Muskrat Love. My mom used to listen to that on the radio, and she would be driving me around to the grocery store or whatever. I wondered what the world was turning into with music like that. There are so many 70s style things that are just not style anymore. Then there's some of it that's just really back. Here it is. My father-in-law always used to say, when you get clothing that's in style, as soon as it goes out of style, don't throw it away. Don't send it to the secondhand shop. Don't sell it in a garage sale. Pack it up, put it in the attic, and in about 20 years, it'll come back in style, and it'll be classic. Oh, yeah, the Bee Gees. That's right. But there's so many things you just don't really hear about that much anymore. I mean, Steve Miller Band, the Best of Bread, Bread, the Cars, the Doors. You still hear the Doors once in a while. There's a lot of them you don't really hear that much anymore. Some of them are actually really good. I mean, a lot better than what we got today. But it's too It's too toned down for too many people. Ah, Frank Zappa. There you go. Along with Frank Zappa is like Jim Croce and Bob Dylan. Some of those singles guys. Roy Orbison was a good one. Actually, kind of like Elvis. Elvis has got some good stuff. We're turning out some little minor stuff in this roll, but just not a whole lot to really get excited about. I always used to really like the different stuff, the oddball. To me, oddball stuff. The stuff that's unique, different from everyone else. Like, back then, the Oak Ridge Boys. The only one that had a really standout bass. And they played the idea. Well, that's it. We're done with this roll. We have found, a few. We're going to have to hunt them down because I didn't pull them all out. But we found a few minor RPMs and a doubled eyelid out of this roll. So we've got something to show for it. Not a whole lot, but we've got something to show for it. Better than a sharp stick in the eye. I've only pulled out 5 coins, but I know there's more of them in the pile. But we're done with number, what is this? 605. We've got 606 and 607 coming later. And I have picked out all the rolls for the coming week. The rolls for the coming week, if you're listening, are 1972D, 1983D, 1939 Philadelphia, 1952 S, and a mystery roll. I don't know what it is. It is a bank wrapped roll. It's a Federal Reserve bank wrapped roll that's got tails on both ends, and I don't know what the date is. So we've got a 72D, an 83D, a mystery roll, 1939 Philly, and 52 San Francisco. Coming up this next week, plus, those of you who like the idea of being able to find something kind of scarce and interesting. We have a mini bag, a $50 mini bag of the Westward Journey nickels, the Bison D-Mint, which is where you can find the speared bison. And it is a sealed mint bag, $50 sealed mint bag. And we're going to go through that this coming week. Oh, tails, they're wheat. It's a wheat roll. So it's a mystery wheat roll. I have no idea what's inside, but it is Fed Reserve wrapped. I'm going to guess it's in the 50s, but I don't know what issue exactly. So that's what we're going to have coming up for sale this evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope to see you there. And then we've got a relatively good auction put together for tomorrow. I've got a bunch of rolls, I've got a bunch of singles, and a bunch of other things. Well, speared bison is still a thing, but it isn't necessarily the big giant honker that it was a couple of years ago. I mean, a few years back, closer to 2005, there were a bunch of people going nuts over those. But now they are still a thing. I mean, you can still have them put in a PCGS holder. So they're still counted. But anyhow, I'm going to single out all of my refunds and all of my all the credits that I've given everyone and make sure I apply those this evening. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how good it gets. But I guess that's all I've got for now. So I'll see you at 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on this channel. Have a great day.